Facing federal charges, former President Trump due in court. His lawyer shares inside info on Mr. Trump's state of mind ahead of the appearance. A son shaves his head to support his mom battling cancer. The sweet surprise that came next. You're watching The Rundown. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Winston. Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to be in court on Tuesday to face federal charges. This is in connection with allegations he mishandled classified documents after leaving the White House and then obstructed the government's efforts to get them back. The classified documents were discovered last year at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. Two sources briefed on the matter tell NBC News that the grand jury is recommending 7 charges, including false statements and conspiracy to obstruct. Here's what his attorney told the Today Show.
Look, he's a resilient guy. You know, this just in. He's a pretty tough guy. You know, he was upset for the country, but in terms of him, he's a fighter, and he's going to come out swinging, and he'll be fine. But I mean, that was really, to me, kind of the interesting inside part of that is to see him almost immediately start talking about what it means for this country and our criminal justice system, and not just about himself.
Former President Trump released a video Thursday night on social platform Truth Social, where he fiercely denied any wrongdoing. The indictment comes just after we ramp up the 2024 Republican presidential primary, with Trump as the clear front runner. LA Pride weekend is here. Friday and Saturday, the LA Pride in the Park concert at LA Historic State Park in Chinatown, featuring headliners Megan Thee Stallion and Mariah Carey. Sunday, the LA Pride Parade. Comedian Margaret Cho and late actor Leslie Jordan were named this year's Grand Marshals. And let's check in with meteorologist Shauna Mendiola for the rundown of your forecast.
And hi, everybody. We are going to see cloudy skies for the Pride Parade on Sunday. And in fact, we may see a good chance of drizzle during the parade. 9 a.m. temperatures at 61. Events start 11. The parade continues through 2 o'clock. And again, temperatures nice and cool. If you're headed out to enjoy festivities, make sure you're dressed warmly and you possibly have an umbrella, because we have an area of low pressure sweeping in. This is going to keep us cloudy and socked under those clouds for Sunday and increase those chances of drizzle for us. It won't be till Tuesday till we see this exit and leave us. And that's when we'll start to see more sunshine in the forecast, and temperatures will go back up from the 60s to the 70s in Los Angeles. If you take a look at the beaches, we'll also stay in the 60s. And if you head to the valleys and inland, if you're missing those 80s, they're on the way next week. We'll follow that forecast and give you all the latest updates. Back to you.
A local family is reeling from shock and grief after its patriarch was killed on the job. He was a construction worker who died when a cinder block wall collapsed in Pacoima. Javier Calderon's family says he was supposed to have the week off, but got a last-minute call to the construction site on North Glen Oaks Boulevard, and that's where a wall came crashing down, trapping him in the rubble. Calderon's daughter believes his death could have been prevented and says her family is devastated to lose the father of 5 and grandfather of 3. Even more heartbreaking, Calderon was preparing for a big milestone birthday next year.
If you called him, he never missed a call. It was rare, always there for you. He was like, this is my little stash for my birthday, for my big birthday party. He was telling everybody about it. Hey, my 50th birthday is coming up, you're invited.
2 other workers were also injured when the wall collapsed, but they're expected to be okay. Loved ones are mourning the death of a young BMX superstar from Riverside. Pat Casey was known as an innovator in the sport. The 29-year-old X Games medalist was also a dedicated husband and father of 2. On Tuesday, he was riding a motocross bike with a friend in San Diego County when he missed a 75-foot jump on a metal ramp.
Axel said one foot short. They ran to him and they knew instantly, but they couldn't not do anything. He's a great dad. He's a great person. He is a man that knew what he wanted. I mean, he asked me to marry him at 18 years old.
Pat won gold at the 2021 Summer X Games. In an effort to stop catalytic converter thefts, the LAPD is showcasing a new Insta-Etch device. The handheld device allows the car's vehicle identification number, or VIN, to be etched into the catalytic converter. Police then use spray paint to have it say marked by LAPD on the catalytic converters, which will help them identify stolen parts.
Someone's going to have a tough time explaining 4 o'clock in the morning why they have one of these in their possession. So if we catch someone, they're definitely going to jail.
The LAPD says thefts of catalytic converters have jumped in recent years. Converters are often targeted because they can be recycled for about $300. Check fraud is rampant across Southern California, and it's leading to something called mail phishing. Viewers are telling the I-Team that they mailed checks to pay bills, only to learn their checks were stolen and cashed by thieves. And if you think your bank will quickly reimburse you for the theft, the I-Team's Carolyn Johnson learned that's not always the case.
This is video of a thief stealing mail from a mailbox on a New York City street, according to law enforcement there. It's called mail phishing. Thieves put a sticky substance on the inside of mailboxes and then fish out mail that sticks to it. They're looking for checks they can cash. It happened to Mark Wilding of Los Angeles when he was visiting New York last fall.
The mailbox, the one thing I remember was just a little sticky. And I thought, well, it's New York City. Things are either sticky or they're dirty.
Mark didn't realize what happened until a credit card company told him his payment was late. He soon learned that someone stole 5 checks he mailed, totaling $7,200. They were cashed at various banks, endorsed with fake names.
Another check that I'd written to this golf club I belonged to had been cashed by somebody called Cesar Bueno. And we were like, clearly something's amiss here, it's not right.
Experts tell the I-Team mail phishing is a huge problem contributing to check fraud. In fact, check fraud is expected to reach $24 billion this year. But victims tell the I-Team there's another big problem: banks, which they say do very little to help victims recover their money. Mark says he is a 30-year customer of Wells Fargo and was shocked when the bank wouldn't refund his $7,000. Instead, he says Wells Fargo told him the banks that cashed the checks had to reimburse him. But he says Wells Fargo did little to help him track that down.
You go to a banking institution feeling that they will protect you in case of fraud, and Wells Fargo has said, we'll try.
Consumer attorney Jay Rahimi believes banks aren't always motivated to help victims of check fraud because the laws that govern checks aren't consumer friendly. For example, if you have a dispute involving an electronic transaction, such as debit card fraud, he says attorneys are much more likely to take your case because there are consumer laws that require banks to pay your attorney fees if you win. But in cases involving checks, banks are not responsible for those pricey attorney fees. You are.
Unfortunately, a lot of these consumers aren't in a position to go hire some expensive attorney to prosecute a case like this.
After Mark reached out to the I-Team, he finally got his money back, but it took 6 months. In a statement to the I-Team, Wells Fargo said it followed an established process and recovered Mark's money from the banks where the checks were cashed. It also said it was disappointed the issue wasn't resolved more quickly and easily. Mark feels the same way.
No wonder you make so much money as a banking institution, because we're the ones that ended up, when there's losses to be had, I end up losing my money, and Wells Fargo sort of says, hey, it's not our problem.
That was Carolyn Johnson reporting. Experts say it's safest to just pay your bills online and not use checks. And if you do use a check, confirm the check was cashed by the payee. Look to see that the payment was posted to the account of the bill you were paying, or look to see who endorsed the check. Now on to actor Bryan Cranston, and he says he's ready to say goodbye to Hollywood. The critically acclaimed actor says he's doing it all for love. The Breaking Bad star told British GQ that he would be stepping away from acting in 2026. He wants to take his wife, Robin Dearden, to Paris. Ah, how sweet, how romantic. It's not clear whether or not he'll eventually return to acting. A young teenager has a big future ahead of him in animation. His work is being highlighted in the new animated Spider-Man movie, which is dominating the box office.
Want to get out of here?
Oh, when? So wait a minute, there's an elite crew with all the best spider people in it?
Who's the new guy?
This is unbelievable.
This is the lobby.
14-year-old Preston Butanga is incredibly talented. Sony saw his animated Spider-Man Lego clips on YouTube and asked him to create the Lego sequence in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. He worked remotely from Toronto to animate his piece in the movie, and it's all paying off as he helped make a movie that has made more than $235 million so far. Very nice. It's that time of year, graduation for all high school seniors, and we caught up with one student who won a Gates Scholarship, and it covers the cost of attending college this fall at Stanford.
I feel like I'm a symbol for other people like me, that look like me, that were part of the same community, that they can also do it, that they can follow in the same steps as me, as a Latin American that grew up in South Central.
You can do it. We're very proud. Meantime, the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools celebrated the accomplishments of more than 130 alternative education seniors. Many of them have overcome challenging experiences, including homelessness, gang violence, and drug use.
And once they see the future and the potential they have, they start to accelerate. And today is the recognition where they've shown that completion and received that high school diploma that's so important for their future.
All of us here at NBC4 want to congratulate all of the 2023 graduates. You did it. An incredible show of support. A teenager shaves his head in honor of his mom, who's battling brain cancer. But that's not all. 15-year-old Elijah Ford shaved his head with the help of his closest friends. Just as he was overcome with emotion, something incredible happened. One by one, his friends joined in because they wanted to support him and his mom. And of course, the big gesture of love left Elijah's mom, Tamika, in tears.
Hi, Mom. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing it.
My name is Tamika. I love Elijah like he's my brother.
I can't imagine what you're going through.
I was like really happy and already starting to tear up. And then he showed me the video of the boys and I just bawled.
Tamika is still undergoing treatment, spending most days in the hospital, but she's determined to stay positive. She's also grateful her son has loving, supportive friends, and that's what it's all about, showing a little love and support in the time of need. Very sweet, and we're sending Tamika lots of love and positive vibes. We hope she gets better soon. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com, and be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. See you next time on The Rundown.